what does a guy got to do to get a non-redacted copy of your book?
I think you have to kill like the Soviet premier, and it's hidden in the Kremlin. So you know that's a good place to begin.
What do you think?
I do have a copy, by the way. I know.
I'd like to have a copy myself. I have a redacted copy, but obviously there's pages that are nearly completely blacked out, which is absurd.
I know. Look, I think they've made it far more sexy than it really is. I appreciate them making it really nice for people to have a hard time reading it, and they read it anyway. But you know.
Yeah. What do you think of Oath Keepers and the mission to outreach to our military and our veterans, police?
Let me say two things about the Oath Keepers. First, and my good friend Bruce Fine, who is not here today, he was here yesterday, always talks about the fact that there's no oath on the oath. There's no expiration date of the oath of office. So to me, anytime you put the uniform on, military, police, no matter what it is, you still have a fundamental responsibility to be true to that oath. And again, there's no expiration date. It's not like you take the oath and say, oh, 2015, you're out of here, you're done. It just doesn't work like that. So I think it's important for everybody to understand that they still have a fundamental responsibility. Along that same line, I still don't understand how people who take the oath can live with themselves when they violate it constantly. And this is one of the things about this conference and other things. It's very good to see that people are very concerned about the First Amendment, the whole Bill of Rights, and the idea of liberty. And this is something I think anyone who takes that oath is obligated to maintain that as a primary feature of their responsibility for the rest of their life.
I myself am a member of Oath Keepers. Are you?
I'm not, but I've always been very close to the movement. I've talked to folks in it, and I do believe that I'd like to believe that by the fact that I try to live true to my oath every day, I'm trying to do what basically you guys do believe in. So.
Would you be interested in participating in outreach alongside Oath Keepers to our military veterans and police?
I have a hard time committing to anything because I barely have time to do the stuff I have to do now that I'm committed to. But I do appreciate. I'm a supporter. A lot of my friends on Facebook are Oath Keepers. I've always been very supportive of the effort, and I'm very supportive of the Tea Party as well. But I'm not a Tea Partier. But the idea is that I believe I'm one who believes that how you act is the best indicator of who you really are, and I always try to be true to my oath and all the things that I do.
So you're definitely against things like the NDAA, and you're going to do everything you can to fight against
I have been working with Bruce Fine and my good friend Representative Walter Jones on that very issue. Absolutely. Anytime you have unmitigated, unrestrained use of force, potential use of force, it's wrong. So no, I'm completely against the NDAA, spoken out against it. I'm trying to work with Representative Jones and Bruce Fine on repeal of that, and making sure that never happens again.
Now, as somebody who's served overseas, you've seen action, hunting bin Laden.
Right.
What's your feeling on our foreign policy? Do you believe that Ron Paul's, non-interventionist foreign policy would benefit our troops and benefit us?
No, I don't. This is one area that I've debated Ron Paul. You guys can get it. I was on John Stossel's show. There's some daylight there between Ron Paul and I. I do believe he's completely correct on all the fiscal issues, all the issues that relate to that. I do believe that we have to be a lot more aggressive, not to the aggressive level of I'm a Reagan Republican, and I do believe that we are responsible for maintaining as best we can the lines of communication, the lines of commerce that we've established. The whole idea is, and there's a principle for this in law. Once you've done something, you pretty much have to continue to do that. The Coast Guard's been sued before because they don't maintain beacons. Well, there's nothing that says they have to, but once they do it, the court said you got to keep doing it. I kind of feel that we have that responsibility to the world. We are the beacon. We are that beacon of freedom. And my friend Bruce Fine and I always get into debates about this, but I do believe that we have a certain level of responsibility. Again, I would never recommend we invade countries, but I do recommend that we actually live up to the bargain that we've already signed up to for most of the world.
So, having seen what you've seen overseas, do you foresee us, going to war with Iran?
I hope not. This is one of the areas that I did agree with Representative Paul on. I don't believe there's anything to be had by attacking Iran. The moment you attack Iran, you mobilize the people against us and for their government. Right now, the people want to be free, and I think that's what we should focus on, is helping the people be free.
Well, Michael Schuer had spoken about the principle of blowback, the concept of blowback. The CIA has spoken about it. Do you think that some of that is coming to fruition? I mean, with helping Al-Qaeda in both Libya and Egypt?
No, I've been on Fox talking about quite a bit of this. Yes, I think that we've had what I call a policy of wishful thinking regarding the Arab Spring, regarding some of this other stuff. And frankly, some of the enemies we've always had have found ways to insinuate themselves within this process. And obviously, there's a lot of people who do want payback. This is an opportunity for them, and I think they're taking advantage of it, yes.
As early as this past February, Secretary Clinton had stated that we should arm the rebels in Syria, even though they're comprised of elements of the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda. So you're definitely against that.
I'm against arming rebels without understanding what you're doing. What I've said regarding what my recommendation is for Syria is to create a government in absentia. One of the lessons from Libya is the moment you start destroying the infrastructure, you destroy the social fabric as well. And I don't think we want to leave Syria the basket case that Libya now is. So as much as I think it's important to maintain social infrastructure, one of the reasons is I believe the military is pretty much of Syria would be willing to be loyal to whoever's in charge. I don't believe Assad is necessarily the guy that the military will always be loyal to. I believe if he's replaced, that military, that government may fall in behind them. But the moment you start destroying the government, that you destroy social infrastructure, you destroy order, and therefore making the life of people who live there far worse.
Well, hopefully your book, I like what I had been able to read, but hopefully a non-redacted version will be available at some point in the future.
We're maintaining a First Amendment suit against DOD, which, by the way, has been going on for 18 months now. We believe that we can prove in court, we want our court and day in court to prove that everything in the book is unclassified. So we're continuing to push that. It's still in the courts.
Well, I look forward to reading it, the full book.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got a minute?
Yeah. What's up?
Bob Phillips, We Are Change. Nice to meet you. Your article you wrote about the not speaking about Bilderberg. Would you care to comment on that?
Disconnect
yeah,
with the
there has
grassroots.
been a disconnect, and the biggest disconnect was over our inability to and our decision not to attack Mitt Romney going into Michigan. That's the basis of all of it.